Wealth Dynamics Lords. Welcome if you've just found out you're a Lord profile and you might be thinking, what does it mean? Think of Lord like a landlord, someone who doesn't even have to meet the tenant because you've got an agent who's doing that, but someone who actually is able to look at the back end. You don't have to be the life and soul of the party to become successful as a Lord. Great example is someone like Lakshmi Mittal, now the richest man in England, and he over time has just steadily accumulated economies of scale in the steel industry so that he can always know what he's buying it for, what he's selling it for, where the efficiencies are, measures everything, and as a result of that ends up with the largest steel company in the world. Now, here's a great example. He was getting criticized a year or two ago when he was doing this big deal in Europe with Mittal. At that point, when he was doing that big deal, people were saying, you should be whining and dining the press more, you should be out there doing the deals. He says, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to actually make sure the deal works on paper. And by him making sure the numbers work, he got the deal. Rockefeller's another good example in the oil industry. Never had to take the risk of all those dynamo profiles to take the risk of an oil field, never had to be as good in timing as all the market traders trying to trade oil. And at that time, oil was even more volatile than today. But what he did was said, I'll just be the guy in the middle that is the refiner. I would just tick over every barrel. I'll just make sure that people find it better to come through me with their barrels of oil than anyone else. And I'll just make sure as a result of that, I make my money. That's exactly how someone like, for example, Sergey Brin with Google is making his money today. He says, I don't have to create any product with Google. I don't have to worry about the market pricing and what's going on with the different companies that are part of what I do. I'll just make sure that it is more efficient and effective for people to come through me than anyone else. First, for those who are going to look at searches, and secondly, for those who actually want their searches to then end up selling products or directing people to their sites. When we start to see the structure of the fact that you don't even have to own things, you don't have to own the property, you don't have to own the video to actually rent it out, you don't have to actually own the cars in order to lease it, but that there's all these different businesses where you can just make sure that you understand how that capital value can be turned into cash flow. Now, by the way, I'm talking more at the enterprise prism level of the wealth spectrum, which is that you're already in business. But if you're just getting started, you're thinking, well, in a team, where should I be working? You're going to find your analytical skills and your ability to not have to go out and tell the story, but actually stick to the facts is what already sets you apart from so many others in your team. You're going to find that finding a creator first is one of the most important things, because that's someone who will always keep you stoked with new ideas for you to be able to then organize. And you'll find that the second person, someone like a deal maker, who's able to actually connect out with the right people and do those deals, just like someone like Lakshmi Mittal did, will allow you to be able to stay in the back end and to do the things that you do comfortably without having to get into the way of complicated people and making them complicate all the things that you want to achieve as well. This is the power of a Lord, is that ability to be able to keep analytical, to keep focus, and to do it with rhythm. And as you do this, you're going to find yourself comfortable in everything you do and allowing others to shine in the way that they're meant to as well.